Hello, Frugal fans. Once again, this is Captain Frugal reviewing my stash to save you cash, and today I'll be reviewing the Superior Foes of Spider-Man issue number 6. Alright, here we're looking at issue 6 of the Superior Foes of Spider-Man. Once again, this can be found in the trade paperback Getting the Band Back Together. You can also buy the issues as a back issue or buy them digitally. Once again, the writer is Nick Spencer and the artist is Steve Lieber. This issue starts out with Fred on his date at the baseball game, and we get to see some great ball game banter between Fred and his date. And it's clear that Fred is really falling for this young lady, and we're taken to a scene of Fred's room where he has a painting with Tomb's face on it revealed, and the story gives us a humorous take on how this picture was made, and it's probably more of what Fred thought happened. Fred also tells us more about his plan to screw all of his team over as well as everybody possible. Next, the book segues, and we're taken to the rest of the gang has been captured by the Owl from last issue. We get some great banter as usual, and the Owl tells them they might live if they tell him where to find Boomerang in the painting. But the Beetle responds with a counteroffer, telling him that he should let them go, and they will not tell, and that'll save him the embarrassment of other people knowing how they broke in past his security and how flawed it is. Then we are quickly taken back to Fred in his apartment, where it appears if you pay attention to the pictures, he's been a little busy. And so he gets a visit from Mach 7, and Mach 7 confronts Fred about the Sinister Six, if you will, getting sprung from the police van back in issue 4. You can also check out my review on issue 4 to get more info on that. And Fred, of course, denies this was him, saying it was somebody else in his costume. After some great discussion with him and Mach 7 goes to leave out the window, but he can't seem to fit because his wings get stuck and hit, which is just hilarious. You've got to see this. After Mach 7 finally leaves, Fred gets another visitor shortly afterwards. But this time, this visitor is not as friendly. We find out it's the chameleon and his muscle, and they quickly knock Fred out. We're then taken back to the team where they're still held in captivity. And the Beetle's phone goes off, and the Owl's henchmen, one of them, take that phone and read the text, saying, "just outside." But the Owl thinks it's a bluff and asks, "Where's my painting?" tipping the group off that things may not be what they seem, because remember, the group thought they were getting the head of Silvermane, and he mentioned a painting. So before we can find out more, though, there's a sudden explosion, and we find that the text was from no other person than Tombstone. This is where we find out that the Beetle, believe it or not, is the Tombstone's daughter, and that's the end of this issue. So now, it's also the end of the issue issue 6 is the last one, I believe, in the first trade. So let's look at some of the pros. This is a fun story. It's an interesting situation that the team gets caught by the Owl, with good discussion between them. Mach 7 getting stuck in a window is just something you have to see. I mean, you can see his shame. And it's an interesting reveal at the end of who the Beetle's father is. It was a real shocker, pun intended. Now let's look at some of the cons of the story. Once again, the only thing I see wrong with this issue ultimately is this story ends. I can give this book no other grade than an A. Thanks for watching, Frugal fans. If you want to enjoy more reviews and things, check us out at thehenchmanslounge.com. You can also follow me on Twitter at Captain Frugal.